Imagine a ruler so infamous that his name became synonymous with cruelty and excess. Welcome to the world of Emperor Nero, one of ancient Rome's most notorious figures. Nero's reign, which spanned from 54 AD to 68 AD, was a tumultuous period in Roman history, marked by a chilling blend of brutality and extravagance. Picture this, a young Nero ascending to the throne at just 16 years old, heavily influenced by his cunning mother, Agrippina. What followed was a whirlwind of opulence. His thirst for extravagance knew no bounds. Lavish parties, decadent banquets, and ambitious building projects drained the Roman treasury. But it wasn't just his reckless spending that defines him. His cruelty sent shockwaves through Rome. He infamously persecuted Christians, blaming them for the devastating Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD. His ordered executions of Christians not only silenced dissent but also elevated many to the status of martyrs in the fledgling Christian faith. In this video, we'll delve deep into the life and times of Emperor Nero, exploring his early years, his artistic pursuits, and the rebellion that ultimately led to his tragic end. Early life and rise to power. In the annals of Roman history, Nero's early life stands as a fascinating precursor to his controversial reign. Born Lucius Domitius Ahenobarbus in 37 AD, he had the unique privilege of being a direct descendant of Emperor Augustus on his mother's side, and a link to the legendary Agrippina the Elder through his father, Gnaeus Domitius Ahenobarbus. But it was his mother, Agrippina the Younger, who played a pivotal role in shaping Nero's destiny. Agrippina was a formidable woman, known for her ambition and cunning. She'd previously been married to Emperor Claudius, Nero's great-uncle, before marrying her uncle, Emperor Claudius, after his previous wife's death. This marriage opened the doors of power for young Nero. His mother's influence was unparalleled. She plotted and schemed to ensure her son's ascent to the throne. In a shrewd maneuver, she convinced Emperor Claudius to adopt Nero in 50 AD, making him the heir apparent. To solidify Nero's position further, Agrippina orchestrated the poisoning of Claudius, clearing the path for her son to become Emperor of Rome. Nero's elevation to the imperial throne came at a tender age, around 16 or 17 years old. In 54 AD, his youth and relative inexperience contrasted starkly with the weight of the Roman Empire on his shoulders. His early rule was marked by a dependence on advisors, particularly Seneca and Burrus, who played key roles in guiding the young emperor. Agrippina's influence, however, continued to loom large over Nero's rule. She maintained a powerful presence in the imperial court, often meddling in political affairs. Yet, this mother-son dynamic was far from harmonious, and tensions eventually led to a dramatic falling out. In the tumultuous world of Roman politics, Nero's early life was marked by a web of familial ties, ambition, and intrigue. Little did the empire know that the young Nero, influenced by his mother and guided by advisors, would go on to become one of its most infamous and polarizing emperors. Extravagant lifestyle. Nero's reign was an era of extravagance that left a deep mark on the Roman Empire. His spending habits were nothing short of legendary, and they took a toll on the empire's finances. One of his most notorious indulgences was his penchant for lavish parties and entertainment. He spared no expense when it came to hosting grand feasts and spectacles. The most extravagant of these were his Neronian games, which lasted for several months and included everything from chariot races to theatrical performances. These events were not just costly, but also diverted valuable resources away from essential state functions. Nero's building projects were equally opulent. He undertook extensive construction initiatives, such as the Domus Aurea Golden House, a massive palace complex adorned with gold and precious gems. This extravagant palace was constructed on land cleared after the Great Fire of Rome, an event that Nero was rumored to have either caused or allowed to happen. Building such structures required immense wealth, skilled labor, and a vast workforce, all of which strained the empire's resources. Additionally, Nero's extravagance fueled resentment among the Roman elite and the general population. Many senators and citizens grew disillusioned with the emperor's self-indulgent lifestyle while they endured economic hardships and taxation. Persecution of Christians. One of the darkest chapters in Nero's reign was his ruthless persecution of Christians, which intensified following the Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD. This tragic event played a pivotal role in shaping Nero's relationship with the early Christian community. The Great Fire, which destroyed a significant portion of Rome, created widespread panic and suffering. While the cause of the fire remains a subject of historical debate, Nero saw an opportunity to deflect blame and consolidate his power. He scapegoated the Christians, accusing them of starting the fire, and launched a brutal campaign against them. The persecution of Christians during his rule was marked by extreme cruelty. Christians were arrested, tortured, and subjected to gruesome forms of execution. Some were crucified, while others were used as human torches to illuminate Nero's gardens during nighttime events. This horrifying treatment aimed not only to punish Christians, but also to deter others from converting to Christianity. The significance of his persecution lies in its role in early Christian history. These early Christians who faced persecution under Nero are often regarded as the first Christian martyrs. Their unwavering faith in the face of persecution and death left a profound impact on the Christian community. Instead of silencing the Christian movement, Nero's brutality served to galvanize and strengthen it. The courage displayed by these martyrs in the face of extreme suffering inspired others to embrace Christianity, spreading the faith even further. Furthermore, the writings of early Christian leaders, such as St. Peter and St. Paul, who were both martyred during Nero's reign, became foundational texts in Christianity. Their teachings, coupled with the memory of those who endured persecution, helped shape the early Christian church and its enduring message of faith and resilience. Artistic pursuits and decline. Nero's reign was marked not only by cruelty and extravagance, but also by his fervent pursuit of the arts. He fancied himself a gifted musician and actor, passions that would become defining features of his rule. His love for music was particularly pronounced. He was known to play the lyre and sing, often performing in public. However, his self-assuredness in his musical abilities was met with skepticism and ridicule by many in Roman society. The elite considered these artistic pursuits unbecoming of an emperor, as they clashed with the traditional Roman values of martial strength and statesmanship. Nero's extravagant musical performances and insistence on participating in competitions further fueled the disdain of the Roman aristocracy. His enthusiasm for acting was equally notorious. Nero frequently took to the stage, sometimes performing in tragedies or comedies. This was viewed with a mix of amusement and contempt by the Roman populace. The sight of their emperor playing roles in the theater seemed at odds with the dignity and authority expected of the ruler of the vast Roman Empire. As Nero delved deeper into his artistic endeavors, his popularity began to wane. The financial burden of supporting his extravagant lifestyle and artistic pursuits weighed heavily on the empire. Taxes were increased to fund his lavish spectacles and palace constructions, causing discontent among the Roman citizens. Furthermore, the stark contrast between his indulgent lifestyle and the hardships faced by ordinary Romans fueled resentment. The elite and Senate grew increasingly critical of his behavior, and even the military, once loyal, began to question his fitness to rule. Rebellion and death. The events leading to Nero's downfall were tumultuous, marked by rebellion and political unrest. One of the most significant factors contributing to his fall from power was the rebellion of Roman legions. His rule had become increasingly unpopular due to his extravagant lifestyle, financial mismanagement, and the persecution of various factions within Roman society, including the Christians. The discontent among both the Roman elite and the common people had reached a boiling point. In 68 AD, a rebellion began among the legions stationed in various provinces. The most notable revolt was led by Gaius Julius Vindex, the governor of Gallia Lugdunensis, modern-day France. Vindex declared himself against Nero's rule and sought to install a new emperor. This rebellion quickly gained momentum and garnered support from other legions. The Senate, eager to distance itself from Nero, declared him a public enemy and supported the rebels. As the revolt spread, it became clear that Nero had lost control over the empire. Faced with imminent capture and execution, Nero made a fateful decision. On June 9, 68 AD, he chose to take his own life rather than be subjected to the humiliation of being captured by his enemies. According to historical accounts, Nero, in a fit of despair, reportedly declared his famous last words, "Qualis artifex pareo," which translates to "what an artist dies in me." This dramatic farewell encapsulated his view of himself as a performer and artist, even in the darkest moments of his life. Legacy and historical perspective. Nero's legacy in Roman history is a complex tapestry of infamy and controversy. He is remembered as one of the most polarizing figures in the annals of the Roman Empire. From one perspective, Nero is seen as a symbol of decadence, cruelty, and extravagance. His persecution of Christians and the belief that he fiddled while Rome burned during the Great Fire created a damning image of a tyrannical and narcissistic ruler. Historians often emphasize his profligate spending, which strained the empire's finances, and his extravagant artistic pursuits, viewed as unbecoming of an emperor. However, some historical perspectives offer a more nuanced view of Nero's rule. They highlight his early popularity among the common people due to his generosity and populist policies. They also argue that some of the negative portrayals of Nero may have been exaggerated by his political enemies, including the Senate and the Roman elite, who had their own motives for discrediting him. Today, Nero's legacy continues to spark debate among historians and scholars. Some see him as a mad tyrant, while others suggest he was a victim of political intrigue and historical bias. Regardless of one's perspective, Nero's reign undeniably left an indelible mark on Roman history, symbolizing the complexities and contradictions of an empire that spanned centuries. His life and legacy serve as a reminder of the multifaceted nature of historical figures and the challenges of interpreting their actions in the context of their times. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Emperor Nero's tumultuous reign and legacy in Roman history. If you found this video informative and engaging, please take a moment to like it and consider sharing it with others who might be interested in history and ancient Rome. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated on more fascinating historical content and other exciting topics. Your support helps us continue to bring you valuable insights and knowledge from the past. Until next time.